Yes, that is a video that we had for you, and it just says it all. What you've just been watching, there is about a person, what a person goes through when they go to taimex Nutrition Center. Hello there, and welcome to Talk Time. It is a Monday, and of course, this is the show that comes your way every Monday from 9 to 9:50 here on UBC TV. I'm your usual suspect, Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma, and tonight we are talking nutrition. So many people, of course, when they hear nutrition, they just think it's about eating well, that if in a layman's language, I could say that nutrition and nourishment or aliment, that is the supply of materials, that is food, required by organisms and cells to stay alive. And in science and human medicine, nutrition is the science or practice of consuming and utilizing foods. But it also says nutrition also focuses on how diseases, conditions, and problems can be prevented or reduced with a health diet. And some of the things that you've just been watching in that video say it all. And tonight I'm privileged to be joined in the studio by none other than Dr. Tamale Ismail. Dr. Tamale Ismail is a nutritionist. I don't have to say much about Dr. Tamale because the moment you get to see him, to watch right now, probably you've even met him, and you've got some professional advice from him. Dr. Tamale, a very good evening and welcome to this program.
Thank you very much. Good evening, viewers. Thank you very much for turning in UBC and liking your health, because whoever tunes in for such a program really likes his health.
Yes, Doctor, before we came on set, actually, I just had a chat, with the doctor, but what he has told me already, I am scared. Ugandans today, we hear that some people are obese, people are dying. You just go to the gym and you hear that someone has collapsed. But do you even know what the cause of that might be? It all comes back to our nutrition. What we take in can determine whether you'll be alive tomorrow. And that is what we shall be discussing tonight with Dr. Tamale. Doctor, first of all, I've just said that you're a nutritionist, but you can tell the viewer a little bit more about yourself, okay, what you do.
Dr. Tamale Ismail has introduced from Taimex Nutrition Center, and in Taimex Nutrition Center, we represent Dr. Peter Diadamo, who is based in the United States of America, in a state called Connecticut, who is part of the team who came up with this research, which was done for over 70 years. It was started by James, and then James Diadamo, and completed by Peter Diadamo. And in this, so we represent them on the whole continent of Africa. And what we do here is what we call scientific, personalized, individualized nutrition.
Yes, doctor, actually, let me cut you short there, because when I tell them that we're going to talk about nutrition, they just think about this, the general nutrition, and you people, actually, you call it the 18-19. They call it the 18-19 nutrition. In other words, it is just outdated, and that is where you come in with a specialized kind of nutrition. Tell us a little bit about that.
Of course, the nutrition which we have grown up knowing knows much more of what is in particular foods. They tell you, take milk, it has proteins, take this, it has this, take beans, they have this, take greens, they have this, take carrots, they are very good for the eyes, and so on. And that is correct, 100% correct. Take a balanced diet, take some posho, take some milk, take this and this and this, that's all correct. But the issue is here now, it does not differentiate who should take what and who should not take what. Maybe why it is called version 1818. In the year 1818, Dr. James Blundell discovered what we call blood transfusion. And when the blood transfusion was discovered at that time, blood was being given out anyhow. There were no blood groups. They had not been discovered. So they just give you blood. Some people would die, others would survive.
You don't know what you're taking.
You don't know what you're taking. And he is given, that one doesn't come out of the theater.
Because they've taken problems.
Yeah. If an B is given, that one would come. So whenever they would be to a blood transfusion, you had to remain outside the clinic, the theater, praying until the doctor comes and pronounces that your person has died or survived. Now, and that continued up to 1901. When Dr. Carl Steiner discovered the blood groups. Said, look, gentlemen, there are blood groups, each blood group should give another. I mean, A can give A, B can give B. One of the reasons why for 83 years people have been dying is because when people is given an incompatible blood group to his, he's going to die. And that takes a very short time. Within an hour or two, you are dead.
You are dead.
You have seen those cases right now in court. Hospitals are choosing others, people are choosing hospitals of changing blood. Now, Carl Senna was not believed until 1930 when he got his award.
And people kept dying.
People kept dying. Others, they always, they are what we call doubting Thomases, all those things, under research. But eventually, by 1930, it was known. So, exact 1930, now, blood transfusion was approved, and it's the one which we are using in all the blood transfusions, all the blood banks, and so on and so on. And so on.
Doctor, someone watching right now could actually get confused. You know, we are talking about nutrition, and here the doctor, the good doctor, is telling us about blood group. Probably the thing that I want us to discuss, why is it that knowing your blood group is really, really important in as far as determining whether you'll be alive tomorrow or not is concerned, because it is related to, you know, what you're supposed to take in. Because I'll give an example. If I am diabetic, for example, and I go to a clinic and they tell me, yes, you don't have to eat posho, you don't have to eat rice, you don't have to eat, you know, blah, blah, blah. Things that are very common today. These are the things that we normally get.
Yes.
And now, someone will just get, you know, confused when you tell, you know, first tell me what is your blood group. So just tell us, what is this, the eat rate for your blood group and genotype?
You see, after 1930, when the blood groups had been confirmed, actually they were discovered in 1901. Of course, the Japanese between 1901 and 1930, for them they had got ability from the blood groups. Actually, we shall look at this as we go through the programs. Now, after 1930, some group of these, that's when the diadamos started carrying out some research. Why do you have 5 patients? Give them the same medication. 3 die, 2 cure. God did not want. It takes you back to the 1818. Why some people have not? They have been transfused blood. Okay. Why do you have 5 people? They are obese. Put them on the same diet program. 3 become more fatter, 2 die out.
Okay.
Why do you have people claiming having genetic diseases? Okay. Why do they manifest at age 40, not at age 3? Because today, if a parent is diabetic and the mother has high blood pressure, then the kid would be having pressure and diabetes immediately is born. Why does it wait for them until when they are 40? So these are the research questions they are trying to tackle. Why do you have a 25-year-old young man collapsing dead in a football field because of a cardiac arrest, when an 89-year-old woman seated in a remote village of Wamata, her heart is taking? So those are some of the research that was done, and eventually the research went on to show so many things. One of it went on to show there was a very big relationship between the blood groups and the foods, the food ingredients. Because one of the most dangerous ingredients found in the foods is lectins. Now, lectins are small micronutrient compounds which are found in most of the foods we are eating, and they interact differently with the blood groups. And one of the things, first of all, they discovered, maybe because we asked that to get the insight about it, one of the research findings found out that lectins, when they are not compatible to a blood group, they bind the red blood cells. We call it agglutination. That video can show you when the cells have been clogged. You look at the normal cells and the white cells. Then, 2, they discovered that the stomach acid levels in each of its blood groups was different.
Okay.
And actually, you see, if you can look at that video still, it will show you that video shows you the level of acids. If you look at
we shall be getting that video.
It shows you the level of acids. You see that level? Green shows the acids in the blood groups. Now,
the stomach acid.
Stomach acids. O has more, B has less, AB has little, and the A, which is down there, has very, very little. Okay? Now, what is the use of the acid in the stomach? Of course, it's used in digestion, killing microorganisms which have come on the foods. And now, that means each body system has particular foods it can accommodate in the stomach. So that was one of the things they found out. Another thing is, when you eat the clogging of the body cells, as again another video will show you, we call them lectins. When you take foods which are not compatible to your body system, they are likely to bind your red blood cells. We call it agglutination. But of course,
that is a danger.
That's a very, very dangerous, because you see, if you look at that video, it will show you the normal cells how they are supposed to be. If you look at the normal cells, how they are supposed to be and how their clogged cells are. Of course, once cells are supposed to be free, okay, for vitality, strong immune system, fighting this and this and this and. But once they are gummed together, that means the immune system is going to go down, metabolism is going to go down, and so on. But however, when these cells, the problem is, or the advantage is, when these cells are gummed up, there is what we call an anti-agglutinin system in the body system. It will always open them down. Now, but you see, as you go on aging, when they use the clog 100, they will open 100. But as you go on aging, when they clog 100, they are releasing only 50. So these are some of the lectins was another problem. Then also the blood itself, the blood cells themselves, the blood sugar antigens which are there, some of them were in collusion with the foods that you are eating. So they are likely to cause you problems. Then another thing was, of course, so that is how the research came in to start studying this. The research was done for over 70 years. And after that, it was now, initially, it was a blood group diet. But now it's no longer even a blood group diet. It moved to another level to make what we call a genotype diet.
So
that you see, you look at those red blood cells. Now each one has a blood sugar antigen. Now those antigens which are on those blood groups, they interface very differently with each and every food eaten.
No, okay,
if you eat a food which is not compatible to your body system, it's as if you have put blood group B into A, and there will be a reaction. But now the reaction, when you eat wrong foods, you don't die, but the food will start up with slow, protracted, calculated.
But is it painful? It's even painless death.
Yeah, it's painless.
But also, doctor, because I really want the viewer to really understand, because nutrition can be general, but now what is the difference between the 1819 kind of nutrition and this, you know, the difference is one.
The spin. They see the difference. The old nutrition I told you stops on only telling you eat these foods, these have carbohydrates, these have proteins, you take some amino salts, take some vitamins, and that's all. That's where they stop. Okay? They don't differentiate for who. Now, with the scientific nutrition, we use what we call a triangular system. You eat foods which must be compatible to your blood group and the genetic formation. Not only blood group now, and the genetic formation, because blood is just one gene. Two, we give you the quantity. In what quantities must you eat them? Because when you tell you that goat's meat is, you are supposed to eat goat's meat, doesn't mean you're going to eat on a whole goat and finish it. So in what quantity? In what frequency? Even if you have a lot of money, should you eat goat's meat every day for 7 days in a week? Then after quantity, we go into quality. How do you prepare your foods for maximum yield? We give them all that too in scientific nutrition. Then 5, we also show you food layering. When the food is on table, how should you eat it? Because some people don't know how to eat food. If there is water, there is juice, there is food, meat, there is... How should you eat this food? We call it food layering.
The plate, you just divide it into, I think, 3 parts.
Water consumption. How should you consume water to act as medicine in your body? That water is medicine, but it depends how you are eating it, taking it. People here drink water.
We are told to take 5 liters in a day.
That is absolutely unacceptable. People take water as if they are cows.
Dr. Tamale, one day doctor tells you have to take 5 liters in a day.
No, there is no specific amount of water human beings should take per day. A man who is driving a Mercedes-Benz in an SC, having an office in Kampala Road, or in Kololo, actually, an office maybe in Imbuya. He drives his Mercedes-Benz from Kololo in SC in Imbuya. Then he sits there, he takes it. He cannot take the same amount of water as a man who is waking up in the morning to go and fetch water, split firewood, chase cows from here. You can't.
Depends upon the amount of water that you have lost.
Yeah, here we show you what kind of water you should consume, depending on your activities. Depending on your activities. So, after that, the system in the scientific nutrition, we also show you what exercises you are supposed to be doing. Everybody's system has an exercise profile which is compatible
let's go slowly.
To your body system.
You've talked about something very, very important here, because we talked about someone going into a gym and then this person just faints or collapses from there, and yet you just imagine you're very fit, you just want to go there and exercise, but this person just collapses. Is it about not knowing your blood group and what you should be eating?
Everybody's system has an exercise profile. If you go to, that's why People come out of the gym, others say, I will never go back. Others say it is giving me weight. Others say, me, whenever I go to the gym, I feel energized. Why? If you are going to gym, to a healthy club, you must know what exercises to do, which are compatible to your body system to give you energy. That's what will give you the exercise profile. Then the third one, the third triangle, the third line of the angle,
yes.
we give you the lifestyle strategy. How should you handle stress? How should you avoid stress if it comes? And how can you avoid stress? As a particular body system, each body system has a way of handling stress. We have body systems whose stress profile lies in the muscle. Like our friends, the blood group O. When he's annoyed, he can cry, he can yell, he can shout, he can go and tell everybody. Now, how do you... So we give them a stress handling...
If I see you making noise, I know they are blood group O.
So we give them a stress handling. Otherwise, they are going to make so many operation mistakes, they are going to make so many errors, they are going to... So we give them the lifestyle strategy. So this is where then after that, if somebody has a condition, I have pressure, I have diabetes, we give you some of our food supplements. But our food supplements, according to your genotype, and you take them once in a lifetime. Here they are not going to be picking them. The dose takes 30 days. Whether you have diabetes, whether you have pressure, you have to, the body system now should be able to correct it out. Because our major aim here with scientific nutrition is to train you and be a doctor for yourself and empower your body system with the right foods. With the right foods. So that the body system can take care of itself. Those are the agglutinated cells that tell you if you eat wrong foods, they tell your body system.
in green actually,
those are the normal cells, yeah. But once they are agglutinated, they look like that. And once they say, but when you are younger, when they tie 100, they untie 100. But as you go to aging, they tie 100, they're releasing 50. Those clogged cells there now start becoming
very bad in our body.
That is one of the cases, one of the major causes of aging. What was causing it? That.
Thank you, Doctor. And those of you just joining us, this is Talk Time here on UBC TV. And we are talking nutrition. And in the studio with me is Dr. Tamale, who is a nutritionist. But this kind of nutrition that we're talking about tonight is indeed a different one, because you must know your blood type, your blood group. And then when you go to their clinic, and that is taimex clinic, you'll be told what you should eat, how you should exercise, and where, so that you don't die the next day. And the doctor here is really giving us some very, very pertinent information. And as I said at the beginning, I actually got scared when we started talking about this. Now, doctor, of course, you've talked about this one, the scientific, personalized, individualized nutrition, that is SPIN. Now, suppose I don't follow this SPIN. Do I die the next day?
First of all, you talked about blood genotyping and so on. You do not know your genotype when you are there, viewer. You have to come to taimex Nutrition Center. It's just to determine your blood group and your genotype. Then we tell you what foods to eat. Now, you have started on, if you are not feeding the foods, if you are not eating according to your blood group and genotype, what happens? Maybe we should have said what happens if you are feeding, you do it the right way. If you are eating the right foods for blood group and genotype, the first thing you get, one, a very, very, very strong immune system. Diseases which have not come to you, forget. Actually, when you come to taimex, falling sick is by choice. By choice. Two, the body system acquires what we call a very strong immune system. It can fight its own diseases. Self-healing body system. Three, it leads to automatic weight adjustment. If you're overweight, it brings you to normal weight. If you're underweight, it brings you to normal weight. It's only in our nutrition center that we have people who are fighting to get weight and those who are fighting to lose weight.
There's some people who want to gain weight.
Yeah, there are those who want to gain, there are those who are underweight. The formula is there, they'll come up. And those who want to lose, formula is there. You get automatic. Then, of course, number 4, it is anti-aging. You become younger and younger and younger because the foods which have been busy moving you towards the graves of your ancestors have been plucked out. So you have to remain energetic, you remain younger, you remain more active and so on, and you avoid diseases. So that is what you get out. And if you have some diseases, the healing starts in there. We give supplements for a short time, whether it's diabetes, whether it's pressure, whether it's joint pains, asthma, they will go. Now, if you are not eating the right foods for your blood group and genotype, what happens? Of course, as I said earlier, when you don't eat the right foods, the foods start up with, you don't die, neither do you fall sick there and then. That's why you
But
say.
you're dying slowly
But
inside.
the food sets up a slow, protracted, calculated gorilla war. And whether you like it, it will reach you where it wants. Initially, you start up with simple things. Simple dietary problems. We call them simple dietary problems. Things like you see somebody dozing after meals, belching, bloating, gas in the stomach, heartburn, fatigue, constipation, overweight, bad breath, skin disorders, headache, indigestion. All those are signs that among other foods you are eating, they are wrong foods. But the people, we call it a bachelor's party. Because people handle it as they want, others go to the pharmacist, they are taking the herbs, others are doing this. They try to medicate themselves over there. They go over the counter, buy medication, try to avoid. But because the root cause of these so simple things like gas in the stomach have not been worked on, they slowly but surely progress into the wedding.
So you hear some people have cancer, they have ulcers. I mean, so according to this one here, taimex Nutrition Center intervention points, if you have like
for example, from
ulcers,
the bachelor's party, diabetes. You move to the wedding. And what is the wedding? What was gas in the stomach? Every time you go to the doctor, to the GP, they tell you, oh, come here when you haven't eaten, no ulcer. The 7th time, they are telling you, now ulcers confirmed. What was palpitation, sweating? Every time you go to the doctor, they take you, oh, the pressure is normal, heart is normal. The 7th time, they are telling you, now confirmed, you are hypertension, start medicine. What was eating foods and losing energy, gaining it, hypoglycemia, the next time you go back, they say confirmed diabetes. Now, this disease start coming in. What was gas in the stomach? Ulcers confirmed. Things like diabetes, high blood pressure, allergies, gouts, things like obesity, which was overweight in the Kasikina, we become obese in the wedding. Then from obesity, we go to obesity grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, until you are obese, morbid. Until you are morbid. We call it morbid stupid. You are twice your normal weight. Now, you start things like asthma coming, gastritis, chronic fatigue. Now, what was constipation over a period of time? You start getting things like hemorrhoids, piles, elongation of redundant columns, elongation of the intestines, things like diverticulosis. All these diseases
things are scary, doctor.
Yes, and when they come, all these diseases I'm saying today, I've talked to you about, diabetes, high blood pressure, and all these other diseases that come. There is no microorganism which causes diabetes, which causes pressure, which causes arthritis, which causes cancer, which causes heart problems. It's not there.
Doctor, do you think...
And because it is not there, that's why you can never hear in the whole world that today is a day we are going to vaccinate against diabetes, or we are going to vaccinate against blood pressure. It's impossible. These diseases are brought by your plate, cup, and glass. They are prevented by your plate, cup, and glass, and they are cured by your cup, plate, and glass.
Yes.
Now,
right about now, doctor, we're going to take a short break. Of course, what you're seeing on your screen there, it is all related to what we put in, and we're not going to take a short break, but we'll return with a lot more that is supposed to be told to you, the viewer, and also me here in the studio. In as far as nutrition, this kind of nutrition is concerned, the spin nutrition, and doctor, we shall come back and talk about some of these diseases. Oh yeah. What we should be eating and what we shouldn't be eating. Stay with us. Welcome back from that short break then. This is Talk Time here on UBC TV. My name is Edward Rukidi Kijanangoman. Tonight we are discussing nutrition, but not just any kind of nutrition. This kind of nutrition is called scientific, personalized, individualized nutrition, abbreviated as PIN. And in the studio with me tonight is Dr. Tamale Ismail, who is from taimex Nutrition Center. He is a nutritionist, but he knows so many other things. Doctor, we've talked about so many things, but one thing that still tickles my mind is I come to your clinic, for example, or the nutrition center, and then you take my blood group, and do you predict what I can, contract as a disease immediately after you've seen that?
Definitely. Maybe before let me finish up, because I finished up somewhere, because when the diseases have come, what usually happens, when these diseases have come, the diabetes, the pressure and so on, people start looking for intervention. But 95% of people who treat these diseases like diabetes, pressure, asthma, joint pains, cardiac problems, they treat the diseases, but they don't tackle the root cause of the problem. That's why the diseases continue reoccurring.
Okay.
So you have pressure, they will give you medication to go down in the morning, in the afternoon to go up, because they have not tackled what is bringing it. So you take
the root cause of that.
Yeah. So you take the medicine from. They tell you this pressure does not cure, and you're supposed to take a medicine from till death.
Till death.
Then they also start getting the side effects of the medication. Then you start getting that whole of quagmire, which eventually it sends you packing. Now, with the taimex Nutrition Center, for us to start with what is causing the problem, then our supplements tackle this. If you have some chemical some medication you are using, you continue using it. You can see your GP, but this time, instead of increasing your dosage as has been the case, they continue reducing. And at times people come back and say, the doctor told me, now I don't need to take this medication. So why? Because now we have worked on what is causing the problem. Because our major work is work on what is causing the problem. Because we know what is causing a problem for everybody's system. What is causing your diabetes, we know. What is causing your pressure, we know. What is causing your cardiac problem, we know. So we go back to the question you have asked. Maybe what happens is, maybe people would like to know, because people have a confession that we are very expensive. We are not very expensive.
Yes, that one.
When you come to our clinic, for blood grouping, genotyping, we give you a whole booklet of your diet, exercise profile, lifestyle strategies, then things like food combination, food layering, water consumption, all that because you're
not even talking about them right now. I'm like, oh, are we going to get 500,000?
So, that one is only 110,000.
110,000.
Yeah.
For all that?
Yes.
Blood
group, genotyping, everything, food layering, food diet profile, exercise life, all that at 110,000 shillings. And do it once in a lifetime. You don't need it again.
So
and after getting it,
hold it there, doctor. So when I come to your clinic, to your center, you take all the blood
like
and
the
whatever,
video has been
and
shown.
You give me what I'm supposed to be taking.
Yes.
Once, and that's it.
Yeah. Then if you have a problem, I have pressure, I have diabetes, then we give you some of the supplements. Now the supplements runnings could be more expensive. They could go into 750,000 shillings depending on the condition you are having. Okay. If you have diabetes, it can cost you about 750. Pressure can cost you about maybe about 800. If you want to reduce weight, depending on. But the good thing, whatever the condition you have, the supplements are taken once in a lifetime. You don't take them again.
If I came there, I'm diabetic, and you give me that stuff.
Yeah, as long as you follow the diet. You as far as you are doing the diet. But for example, you find somebody is diabetic, he's taking posho, he's taking chapati, but even if you get a doctor from the moon, that diabetes cannot go.
But Dr. Sam, today people are very busy. Honestly, doctor, today people are very busy. I'll give an example. I come from home in the morning. Let me just give an example. I'm diabetic. I'm supposed to not to eat posho, not to eat matoke, rice, kalo, you name it. I must have greens. I must have a little bit of beans here.
You may not be among those
an egg or something down. Very few people can afford packing that kind of thing every morning. And the common food around is what I've just talked about, posho.
No, when you come to
taimex
Nutrition Center, all that is demystified. You see this idea of thinking that food is heaps of African food, heaps of matoke. No, we show you how you can tailor food. And it becomes very compatible to you and enjoy yourself a very good health life. Then we go back to the question you asked. You asked that you say we predict. How do you know? Yeah, after getting your body system, we know what is in stock for you. For example, I'm going to give you in brief. For example, if you're blood group O, we have
and the viewer should take note of this. If you're blood
group O, we have 3 genotypes out of them. You can be blood group O plus or minus Hunter, O plus or minus Gatherer, O plus minus Explorer. But generally, as blood group O's, their major problem is they have allergy is one of their biggest problems. Allergy, gas in the stomach, ulcers, joint pains, arthritis. If there are people who are more prone, arthritis, asthma, sinuses, high blood pressure, and prostate cancer in men, especially after age 60. Those are the diseases which welcome you to the disease world. Other diseases will come, but those are the ones which are likely to start up with blood group O. We call them welcome to the disease world, Mr. Blood Group O. If you are not eating the right foods. Now, that's why for us we can tackle all sorts of ailments because we know who is more prone to this and why. And we know the reason. Next time when we come here, we shall explain why blood group are prone to those diseases. Then we have blood group A. Now, blood group A is a very... First of all, this blood group A, blood group O is so much well distributed in Africa. That's why they live even for a long time. They have very strong immune system, blood group O. And actually, if they're in the rural areas, they can live up to over 100 years. Now, that is, their distribution in Africa is high. Now, blood group A is not so much distributed in Africa. And actually, most of their, as you see them, they have very little acid. And most of the African foods don't work for them. For blood group A, if at the moment you see that somebody is a blood group A will have 3 genotypes. You can be A plus minus teacher, A plus minus warrior, or A plus minus explorer. Now, this is where you'll find that you can have explorer in A, B, and OB. That means this idea of people who are doing that, when you go to the blood genotype diet, you cook separate forms. No, they are foods which act as intersection. You may find an A explorer, B explorer, explorer eating the same foods. So this idea of having different foods is not. Now, for example, we go to blood group A. Their major problem, as you saw the video which has just went off, is the stomach. Stomach. They have very little stomach acid. So they are major victims of constipation because they don't have enough acid. If they are packing themselves with these African foods and so on, they're in trouble. 2, they are major victims of food poisoning. You take him to a party and he eats anyhow, food poisoning. 3, as you have seen some of the pictures you pass through, most of the microorganisms, this body system is not first of all African. It's mainly distributed in Europe, America, and Asia. So the Africans who are here blood group A, if they don't come to make a diet, they always have a lot of health problems. 2, the body system takes long to know it has been attacked. A blood group A can work. Then he feels a slight headache. Then he goes to the doctor, clinic. He comes running. The doctors come running from the lab. Say, you are very, very, very sick. You have infection plus. Say, doctor, you are joking. I brought myself here. Say, no, you are very sick. Why? Because the body system of A and AB, they take long to identify enemies, pathogens into the body system. That's why they are major victim of that. Now, why your blood group O? Because they have very strong immune system, they are likely to have what we call somebody very sick, going to hospital, and they fail to diagnose what is suffering from. Now, for A, by the time diseases are seen in A, they are in advanced, they are in plus. Even cancer cells, when they manifest themselves in blood group A and AB, by the time cancer is seen, it is in stage 2. Why?
Yes.
So you can tell on that. Then another thing, blood group A and AB, they don't have enzymes which are supposed to break down fats. We call it intestinal choline phosphatase. That's why they are major victims of high cholesterol, fats, diabetes mellitus, cardiac problems, stroke, and
so
blood
that's where
clots.
the obese type comes in there.
So that's why you see other people can get these diseases, but these are more prone. When I talk of more prone, this now A and AB, those are the diseases that will come to the world. Blood group B, on the other side, B has about 3 body systems. There is B nomad, B explorer, B gatherer. Those ones, they generally have a strong immune system, and their major problems is fatigue, flu, cough, skin disorders, and urethral tract infections. So we can know who is likely to have what if he's not eating the right foods. But for viewers, before you leave that topic, people of blood group A and AB who are here in Africa, especially in Uganda, please try to sacrifice whatever you come and come to Taimex Nutrition Center, because those are very delicate blood groups here in Uganda. Most of the foods here don't work for them. Instead, most of the foods here, they go a long way to suppress their immune systems.
Thank you so much, Doctor. And we are almost coming to the end of talk time this Monday and this evening. But Doctor, today we find so many people, especially young people, really, having all sorts of diseases. And yet, my mother will be making 70 years this September. But believe you me, Doctor, what she does, I don't think I can even do it. Why? Why am I even bringing this up? Because you find that we are so prone to so many diseases today, which our parents, or our forefathers never even, had to worry about. Why do you think is this? Is it related to our eating habits?
Of course. As I told you, these diseases like a pressure, diabetes, and so on, there's no microorganism which is bringing them. They are brought by the plate, cup, and glass. But now, one of the challenges we used to get when we were beginning this program here, people say, but me, I found my grandparents taking milk, taking matoke. Now you tell him not to take matoke. What about the condition of previous generation? Maybe if you want to understand this, if you made a roadblock, okay? They call it Pandagad. You find...
Unfortunately, it doesn't happen anymore.
Now, if we made it, and we went and arrested all those people sleeping in these posh areas of Kampala, entering into the supermarkets, you arrest 100. Good coming out with those trolleys.
The trolleys, yes.
100 of
and
them.
You checked.
Between the age of 40 and 60, okay? You will parade them, right? We drive and go to a place like Ruamata, deep in the village, and we arrest people, 100 of them. Now this time we even increase the age, 60 to 80, and we arrest them and put them on a medical parade. These people who have arrested here between 40 and 60, you'll find that 70% of them either one who has ulcers, others have diabetes, others have pressure, others have pains, others have
and then also in the village for them.
And these guys who are even on a higher age, 60 to 80, you'll find that maybe only 5% have an ailment. Why now? So you don't need to go even to the previous generation to understand what was happening. Now the issue is people in the rural areas have live a slightly healthier life, although they say they are poor, but they live a healthy life. How? One, first of all, the types of foods they eat. Okay. They don't have money to fry. They don't have money to take a pork every day. They cannot afford to take sugar. Most of them don't take sugar. So most of the foods which are which the modern person here refers as healthy eating is actually death eating. They don't have it there. Number two, they work a lot. They do a lot of work. They are moving up and down. And here, for them, they walk miles and miles to look for to survive. Here in Kampala, you go to Koro. People are just running to digest what they have eaten. They don't even have where to put it. So you find them jogging. So those are the differences. If you look at things like, if you want to go to massage your feet, they will charge you 50,000 shillings. And people in the villages, they walk barefooted. They are always massaging all the stones when they are walking.
And they don't feel anything. Dr. Manfred,
so
we don't
there are
have
so many things. They, of course,
time.
plenty of oxygen. They have a lot of, they are not much electronic gadgets. Their sort of life really gives them health. And that's why those people, although they were not eating the right foods, they managed to live for a long time. You could find them taking milk, but they would get cows and beat from the upper Entebbe. He's going to graze from Entebbe and come back running. Then, so that is that sort of that balance their health to reach up to over 100.
Okay, doctor, in just 1 minute, because time is not our best ally, just what is your advice you'd give to the person viewing right now, and as far as this kind of nutrition is concerned, and especially looking after themselves?
Viewers, 1 gram of preventing a disease is better than 10 tons of treating a disease. So come to Taimex Nutrition Center. We are located on Conrad Plaza on Nasa Road on the second floor. In Barara, you have seen we are also there on High Street, Amazon House on the first floor. Come and know your foods and prevent diseases, treat diseases, and they go.
Thank you so
Otherwise,
much.
if you are there, and you are having any ailment you are treating, whether pressure, whether diabetes, they will not go until you come and tackle the root cause of the problem. You will get all sorts of medication, you will go to India, you will go to America, you will go to Europe.
But the disease will remain.
The diseases, they will come, they will go for some time, they will come back. Next time you go back, you come back.
Thank you so much, Doctor. This topic cannot end, but I'm afraid we just have to end it now. But it's been some insight there. The viewer, if you've been watching and following us, we've been talking about nutrition. And what you should know about yourself is that your blood group, whatever it is, actually can contribute to whatever disease you might get in future. But also what you must know is that you must find out what you should be eating. Thank you so much, Dr. Tamalin. Definitely we shall be coming back maybe in the next few weeks to give us more, because this topic is it's not conclusive.
It is very, very wide.
We shall be coming back for more on nutrition. And yes, at UBC, we are very privileged to have had you here. And eat right for your blood group and genotype. That is what you should be looking at. Thank you so much, Doctor. I hope to host you some other time. My name is Edward Rukidi Kija Nangoma. It's been talk time. We shall meet again next week, same time, same station. And but coming up here on UBC TV is News Tonight with Jordan Michael Kuma and Rhoda Ngonzi. Good night. you.